Oh, there we are. Here we are. Oh my gosh, I got everything but the coffee. That was a big mistake. That was a big mistake. I forgot to pour my coffee. I brewed my coffee. I heated my coffee up. And for me, it's not that simple. It's not just a matter of brewing your coffee. You gotta select the coffee. A lot of days I'll want to mix it up because I got a favorite, the pumpkin spice for Starbucks. I'll try and mix it up a little bit. I'll try something different, try to keep it fun and interesting. Yesterday was a challenging day. And last night I had a lot of kind of darker thoughts. And I was letting some outside influences climb into who I am. And started feeling bad. And questioning myself and questioning what I'm doing and questioning if I could keep going. And was fortunate to be able to get some pretty good sleep last night. And woke up a few minutes ago. Not sure what time it was, knowing it was still dark outside. Wondering if it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Or what have you. And decided to get up and get going. Hey, Richard John, can you do me a favor? You can celebrate and you can be happy and you can be proud of who won the presidency. But it doesn't matter what my thoughts are or my political opinion are. If you're going to try and overwhelm my live show with your comments, I'm not going to let it. So you could sit here and you could join our show and you could even engage in some occasional conversation. But if you're going to hop on and post the same thing, even though I may agree with who you are voting for and be, in some ways, feel the same way, I'm going to remove you because I can't have you posting the same comment 30 times on my live. Yeah, and it's okay to feel a certain way, and I try and avoid politics. I may or may not today. It's kind of hard. It's the day after the election. But I'm just saying, I don't want anybody coming on and just taking over the conversation with that. Even again, if I agree with some of that, yeah. Looks like we got a lot of political people on today. I guess that's not a surprise. But anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is, what is it? It's Wednesday morning. It is about 5:07 a.m. It is, I think is it November 5th or is it November 6th? Is it November 5th or November 6th? Does anybody know offhand? November 6th. Well, thank you. This is a little show I've been doing for quite some time. This is a show. All right, I'll address that. Brian Johnson said, "We don't care about your coffee," and then he voiced his political thoughts. And honestly, I'm embarrassed by that, Brian. I'm embarrassed by that, and I'm a little ashamed by that, because although I may agree with you politically, you hopping on my show and saying you don't care about my coffee, all that matters is your political opinion, even if I agree with your opinion, is an embarrassment to the, is rude. It's an embarrassment to a lot of the ideals and beliefs that I believe in. All right, well, Rock and Robin, at least that's sort of okay. Oh, yeah, all right. Hey, Brian, I've given you more than enough chances. I have given you more than enough chances. I've tried to. It's so weird. It is so weird. And I've talked about it. It's a disappointing thing about politics. It's a disappointing thing about politics. Even if you agree with somebody, they can be offended because you don't agree with them enough that my whole show should be about some political agenda. And I may have talked about politics, and maybe I'm talking about politics right now. But I got people hopping on. They don't care about my routine. They don't care about anything I have to say. They just want to be able to say this a million times on my video. It's my show. It's my conversation. And I'm going to remove, even if I agree with who you are happy about who won, it's still rude. And it's still rude and stupid. You know, come on. Come on. We're better than that. We're better than that. I hope we're all better than that. You know, I, for a while, thought it was the people that disagreed with me politically that could do that. But, you know, just doing my show, I've realized it's not just people on a certain political aisle that can be jerks or rude. People on both sides of the aisle can be. And my hope for the country, honestly, is that we somehow move towards the center. And we realize it's the ideals of a party that matter, not the individual at the top. And I think, and if I had to agree with a certain side of the party, there's a cult of personality that's gone too far, that's become bigger than the ideals and bigger than the party. And I wish it didn't exist. I wish we knew it wasn't about the man or the woman, but it was the ideals. And this whole campaign has been yucky. And nobody agrees on anything. And you know, I'll be honest, and you guys know, I think I'm pleased with the outcome of the election. I'm pleased with the outcome of the election, I am. But I don't want to see the radicals on either side of political beliefs take over our country. And I think I was more frightened by the radicals on the left. But I don't want to see the radicals on the right taking over our country either. And Yeah. So I pray for peace, and I pray for unification and happiness and capitalism and free markets, because I do. I do. And I think our country was headed away from capitalism and free markets over the last few years. And because of that, I'm pleased with the results of the election. But I'm hoping we can move towards some common ground and I don't know, work towards a better tomorrow. And not just make it a slogan. Not just make it a slogan. But I think working towards a better tomorrow has to come from within each of us to be better people. And if we're threatening the people that don't agree with us politically, we are not being better people. And because the extremes have taken over both parties, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's kind of messed up. But anyway, this is a show about me talking. This is a show about me sharing some feelings and sharing some thoughts and sharing some ideas and sharing some experiences and stuff. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in my hand, and I am so excited to take my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. It's the pumpkin spice. Again, I had a hard night and a hard day and had a lot of doubts and started to wonder if I could keep going. I did. Keep going as a waiter in a nice restaurant in a job I enjoy. Keep going as a twice divorced dad. Keep going as a content creator. Keep going as a guy that's trying to get a little better every day. And it was a yucky feeling. So I woke up a couple times. I was fortunate to be able to sleep till 4:45 and go, hey, it's almost time to start my coffee. What the heck? Let's go start the coffee. And I did. I finished off a bag of pumpkin spice, looked in the strainer, wasn't quite enough. I mean, it would have been fine. It would have been a fine pot of pumpkin spice coffee. But I wasn't needing a fine pot of pumpkin spice coffee. I wanted coffee with a little extra flavor this morning. And that flavor was going to be pumpkin spice. So I opened up my other bag of coffee, which was my other pumpkin spice bag of coffee that it was given as a gift by one of my viewers, and filled up the strainer and started my coffee. So let's have another sip. Oh, that is so good. I'm glad I'm up now. I am glad I am up now. Haley Lane Photography asked if I have any advice on balding. Yes, I do. Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear it? I'll tell you. And just for the record, if somebody needs to say a little something political, that's okay with me. Because this is the day after the election. And I understand some people might be angry and some people might be very happy. And you may want to throw a comment about it. My issue before was that I had a viewer that was making the same very political comment about constantly, and it was overwhelming my screen, and I thought it was rude. And if you want to say a little something, or it's okay. I'm okay with somebody saying something political, but I just don't want somebody coming in here that feels that they have to celebrate so effusively in that what I'm saying doesn't matter, or my show doesn't matter, or what I'm talking about doesn't matter. And that's what my thought was. What was I saying though? Oh, what was I saying? Oh, my thoughts on balding. Shave your head. Shave your head. I don't think balding's a good look. I know it was crushing for me in my 20s, and I was single, and I had a stressful job. I was living in downtown. I was using material things to raise my own self-esteem and buying fancy cars and fancy suits and fancy shoes. Although, to be honest with you, the fancy shoes were important because good shoes are a lot more comfortable than not good shoes. And when your feet are happy, it's easy for the whole body, much easier for the whole body to be happy. So maybe the shoes had a purpose. But anyway, my hair started thinning, and my hair started thinning, and I shaved it, and it feels good, and I wouldn't go back. All right, somebody said the country just failed us. That I'm talking about being bald when the country just failed us. I'll say that's somebody that believes too strongly on the other side of the political spectrum. I'll say somebody followed up with the opposite side of the political spectrum comment. Truly asked, what state surprised me? I honestly don't know if anything really surprised me. I would say, I don't know if anything about the election super surprised me. I talked about it yesterday. I live in Naperville, Illinois. I live in Illinois. It's almost disappointing, the political system we have, because voting almost doesn't seem to matter in Illinois because it always goes blue. And I'm not saying even inherently there's anything wrong with blue, although one might think that, but one could think the other way. But when you're in a state where no matter what you vote, the same party is always going to be elected, if you don't happen to align with that party, and I'm sure it goes the other way. I'm sure there's red states where maybe Democrats live and feel their vote doesn't count. I don't know if there's a solution to that. Truly said Illinois was the closest it's been since 1984. Okay, I didn't know that. Who did I vote for? I'm going to go get a little more coffee. Can't we just go back to talking about being bald? How about I don't say who I voted for? But I will say I think our country was going wrong way in terms of capitalism and free markets over the last 4 years. And the government was getting bigger and bigger and becoming more important in everyday life for every American. And we needed it, we relied on it, we couldn't do it ourselves, and the government was doing it for us. So a lot of people didn't want to go back to work because they were used to the government sending them checks. And I believe in extending a hand and lifting somebody up when they need it, but it shouldn't be our way of life, or it shouldn't be our way of life, or at least, if for some reason you need help, I want you to get help. I want people to get help. I don't want people living on the can't afford to eat or feed their kids. So because of that, I think we need some government, and we need some help for people that really need help. But I don't think it should be something we should all rely on every day, every month, every year. And I almost feel we were going that way. And when I heard one party talk about controlling prices and price gouging, it worries me, and I think that's a step in the wrong direction. I think that's a step in the wrong direction. And I didn't want to take that step. It's a slippery slope. But I understand the need for compassion and helping people out, and that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, or if you're a man or a woman, that we should all have an opportunity. But honestly, if I'm going to be, and I sorry to offend anybody, I think the pendulum had swung so far the other way, it did matter the color of your skin. And I think it was so easy to go after and to people, honestly, that look like me. Yeah, people that look like me. For the first time in my life, I felt discriminated against over the last 4 years. I feel I'm treated differently in the workplace. I feel the opportunities in front of me aren't the opportunities of other people necessarily, because I don't check a box. Because I am not a certain color or a certain sexual orientation or a certain gender or whatever. And that I didn't understand pronouns, how pronouns changed, or why men and women were used in the same bathroom. Honestly, I don't want my daughters using a bathroom that a guy's in 2 minutes before. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. I wouldn't want my wife going in. I don't even have a wife. If I did, I wouldn't want my mother, my daughters. Maybe I look at women differently than I look at men. Maybe I believe women are different than men. And maybe that makes me old-fashioned, but I think it also makes me long for better times. When we appreciated women for being women and men for being men. Doesn't mean if there's an athletic woman or a effeminate man that they're any less because I don't think they're any less. But there's nothing wrong with being a woman, and there's nothing wrong with being feminine, and there's nothing wrong with being a man, and there's nothing wrong with chivalry and ideals and doing what you have to do either. And there's nothing wrong with being a white guy either. But I think almost as a sport, the country and the pendulum, as it has a tendency, swung so far that suddenly I was less hireable because, which is just discrimination. And if we called it discrimination, and what we gave it various names in corporate America, what is it? CMI or something like that? I don't even know. Somebody help me with it. But we gave it a name because we didn't want to just call it discrimination. And we said we're going to hire based on race and identity. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. And I don't have any issue with anybody. I don't at all. But I do have an issue when people are being hired based on the way they look or their sexual orientation. And over the last 4 years, I promise you, as a white man, I've been discriminated against in the workplace. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I am not treated the same. I'm not treated the same. I'm not. There's not at all. It's a bunch of, it feels, and I'm not against being different. I don't think there's anything wrong with being different. We're all different. I'm different. I'm a white man, but that doesn't mean should be put in a box of what white men are. Or that I'm bad, or that I'm not sensitive, or that I don't cry, or that I don't love everybody. You know. But I'm walking around going, wow, no, these people don't like me because I don't have 30 tattoos or pierced faces or green hair. And you shouldn't have to be that to fit in. I want our country to go back, and I'm not, maybe it was never there. Maybe it was never there. Maybe it was never there. Maybe we never accepted everybody for who they were. I'm sure we didn't. I know a kid when I was, that I grew up with, that we probably teased. And I probably did a little bit. And I'll tell you what, he's no longer with us. And it was because he wasn't accepted for who he was. Yeah. It was a boy named Mike. And I know it must have been a hard childhood for him because he was a little different. And we were from a time where men were men and boys were boys. And if you played sports well, you were cool. And if you didn't, you weren't. And because of that, Mike's no longer with us. And that's not right. I promise you that that's not right. Because Mike was probably a beautiful kid with things he could have contributed to the world. But he was probably, to him, going to school was probably a torturous experience. Because Mike wasn't accepted for being a little different. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be accepted for who I am too. And that I'm bad or going to be talked to or ignored for looking like this. And it's not right. It's not right. And because of that, I'm hoping, I'm happy with the election. I'm happy with the election. If you don't want to follow my page because I say I'm happy with the election, don't follow my page. I don't want you here. I don't. But I'm happy with the election because I think over the last 4 years, the pendulum had swung so far the other way that we were talking about price fixing. And we were talking about the government saving the day everywhere we looked. And the government's not shouldn't be picking winners and losers. Shouldn't be picking winners and losers. Hopefully, my hope is that, let's see, there we go. Let's get rid of that person. There we go. My hope is that we can find some common ground and some level of acceptance. And, yeah. See, okay, Rachel goes, you clearly don't read any or pay any attention. Thanks for letting us know you don't care about a woman's right to choose. Are you still here, Rachel? I care about a woman's right to choose. But I also see the other side. I also see the other side. And I think that's why that issue is so challenging, because there's people on both sides that feel a certain way. And I certainly see both sides of that issue. I certainly see both sides of that issue. Yeah. And I don't know what the solution to that issue is, because there's so few people walking around talking, going, hey, I see both sides to that issue. You gotta be either all the way this way or all the way that way. And if you're not, oh, you're bad. And me, I'm kind of walking down the middle of the road going, well, I certainly understand that point of view, but I also understand that point of view. And I think until America comes to a point where we find some, I don't know, middle ground, unity, we might be in some trouble. Oh. Somebody's going, what about Social Security? What are we going to do without Social Security? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Are you saying we're not going to have Social Security? I don't even know what that means. Well, thank you, Laura. I mean, I'm feeling good. But I mean, I'll feel better if we can get people, I don't know. All right, do you want to talk about Social Security? This isn't a subject I'm super good with, or super knowledgeable about, or what have you. I think society needs some safety nets for people that are falling and don't know how to stop falling. But I don't think as a society, we should all just lay around in those nets way down here and go, hey, we're being taken care of. This is okay. Our government will protect us, feed us, clothe us, save us. Because that's been done before in history, and that doesn't work really well. That doesn't work very well. And the best system in the world is the system we live in. Here, we're fortunate to live in. Not many countries are talking about putting up walls to keep people out. We are. So that gives me some hope. That gives me some hope and some optimism. So I have hope and optimism. But I'm asking for some decency. And on both sides. On both sides. And if your politician or president won last night, because I think self-improvement starts from within. There's why and improvement starts within. And making America great again starts with making the individuals in this country great again. And I think the people on both extreme sides weren't being the best version of themselves. And if you're going to laugh at somebody because their candidate didn't win, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Somebody said, now we are really a racist country. Jeannie, I disagree with that. I think we were becoming more racist, and we were defining people by the color of their skin over the last 4 years. And if you were a certain ethnicity, you were supposed to vote for a certain candidate. And because a party's nominee was a woman, you were supposed to vote for her just because she's a woman. And that's not right. That's not right. I talked to two people yesterday. One was a Hispanic man, one was an African American woman. Neither of them liked Kamala Harris. I didn't say a thing. They both went after. I was surprised. I was scared to say my thoughts because look at me. I'm a white man. I'm not allowed to have opinions or speak anymore. So I was curious, and they brought it up, and neither of them liked Kamala Harris. Because I think the Democratic Party's gotten lazy. Lazy. They say negative things about the other candidate. They assume they can win by throwing a few scraps to their base. I'll tell you what, the people that are supposed to be represented, by that party, I don't think aren't better off than they were 4 years ago. I know I'm not better off than I was 4 years ago. And, yeah. I know I'm not, financially, I don't think I can blame the government for not being better off than I was 4 years ago. I'll take it on myself. My decisions put me here. Sure, housing has gone up 45% over the last 4 years. I must say that's problematic for a guy that's twice divorced with a lot of financial responsibilities and has a hard time keeping a roof over his head and has seen the cost of a two-bedroom apartment go from $1,500 to $2,500 in the last 4 years. Yet his income hasn't gone up nearly that to reflect it, or the price of cereal's doubled. Yeah. Wow. This is a good day for me to go live. I got a big audience. I'm hanging out with 170 people watching. I wasn't even going to talk politics. I got dragged in. I got dragged in by unexpected ways. Because I had to remove a guy that was so excited that the guy I voted for won, that he couldn't stop spamming my page with the same comment about it. So I had to remove him. So if anybody out there I don't know, is offended by my political beliefs, understand I think they're based in goodness and hope for our country. Yeah. See, somebody just said, "You're a white man." Somebody just said, "I'm a white man," and therefore they would not listen to me because I'm a white man. And that's the problem. Okay, you want to talk about white privilege? That's the problem. It's just a way to silence. It's a racist way to silence people that don't believe in what you're saying. And you're being a racist by throwing out this white privilege stuff at me. It means I don't get to talk, or I don't get to say anything, or I don't have an opinion, or what I'm saying doesn't matter because I'm white. And none of that's right. None of that's right. That's not right. That's wrong. You know, I have an opinion too. And if you're just going to wipe it off and ignore it because I'm privileged. I'm so privileged, I was waiting tables last night till 10:30, and I'm staying in an extended stay. And I don't own a car. I ride a scooter, and I rode it in the rain last night. And I'm staying in an extended stay, and I'm waiting tables. That's how privileged I am. It's a Suzuki Bergman 400. Elena says, I clearly don't get it. Elena, I'm going to question that. I'm going to challenge that. Maybe you clearly don't get it. You know? Maybe you don't get it. I refuse to understand. Maybe you refuse to understand. Okay, somebody's saying, I don't know the experience of people of color. I don't. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying I do. I don't doubt there's racism. I know there's racism. I know we use words in my lifetime for describing people with different colored skin, and we used to use them openly in my lifetime. It seems crazy. It seems crazy. I know there's racism. I understand. I don't like it. I think it's wrong. I do. But I don't think by damning the white male or screwing the white male over is the answer either. Because I think that's racist too. Exactly, Macy. You just summed it up. Oh, I betcha. Somebody said white men aren't pulled over 5 times as much. I'll say a couple things about that. You want me to? I don't doubt that being black in this country is challenging. And I don't doubt they get pulled over more and questioned by cops more. Elena says, I'm openly saying racist things about women and minorities. See, that's what concerns me. That's what concerns me. That I'm saying racist things about women and minorities? Well, first of all, can you say racist things about women? I mean, I don't know. What have I said that's racist? I'm saying I understand there is racism. But I'm saying the answer to that isn't kicking a guy that looks like me or hiring people that don't look like me over me for it. Well, Cannoli Jones has very positive. Cannoli Jones says today is a great day to shake someone's hand and open a door for a stranger. We got this. Well, that sounds very positive. Did the rain affect my day yesterday? Well, hold on. We got a hot one. We got 233 people watching. Hey, please follow my show. Anybody out there, even if you hate me, follow my show. I go live every morning. I just talk. I drink coffee and talk. Follow my show. I'm going to go get some more coffee. Oh. What I'm trying to say, and I think what this show is a little bit, is that, and I'm not taking away the horrid stuff that's gone through our history towards certain people. There's no doubt about it. We all know it. But I do know we all have stuff. And that I was having a hard time feeling I could keep going. And I look like this. This is how I look. But I struggle with stuff too, and mental health and all sorts of things. And if we can stop saying, oh, he can't even he can't hurt, he can't cry, he can't feel bad, he can't struggle financially, he can't struggle emotionally, because he's white, he has white privilege. I'm just telling you, that's not a good thing. And that's separating people and by the color of their skin. And that's not right. That's not right. Hey, Tracy, who are me? She goes, who are you, show? She's interested because I'm cute. Well, I'm interested because your name is Tracy. And my name is Ken Tracy. And just once, I want to go on a date with a woman named Tracy. So I could joke all night that if we got married, you'd be Tracy. So, Tracy, if you live in the western suburbs of Chicago, I don't even care what you look like. I don't even care what you identify with, what political party you are of. We should go on a date once just so I can joke all date that if we got married, you'd be Tracy. I'd drive it into the ground. I'd tell every waiter, okay, even if she's a man. I just want to joke it once. I mean, it'd be a little uncomfortable for me. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with it, but it's just not the way I go. So I wouldn't joke about that. I couldn't joke about that. I think well, I don't want to drive in too far. I'll tell you what, I was talking about smoking cigarettes last night, and I do believe in small government, but I was talking with some people I work with about how the laws changed, and I didn't want cigarette smoking to be banned in restaurants and bars and public places. I'll tell you, I was really wrong about that. I was really wrong about that. It's amazing what we used to allow, and it is a good thing that the government stepped in and did what they did, because smoking in restaurants is nasty. Oh, Leroy Brown. I wonder if his name's really Leroy Brown. I wonder how many Leroy Browns are out there. I assume anybody of a certain age is thinking, bad, Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Meaner than a junkyard dog, da-da-da. Bad, Leroy Brown. I'm drawing a blank on who sang that. But, wow, what an audience we've had. Had 200 people watching most of the show. Hey, Trilly, that's not a worthwhile pinned comment. And I talked about that. I added a few moderators the other day. And I struggle with this because I think sometimes the moderators want to feel like they're bigger, too much of the show. And truly, I appreciate you and all your kindness and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, you know, you asking me how the rain was yesterday isn't worthwhile pinning to the top of the thing. Jim Croce, that's it. Jim Croce. 226. N. Connor followed the live creator. I so appreciate that. I so appreciate following the live creator. I have a lot of fun doing this show. And it feels good. And every day, while I'm waiting tables and while I'm missing my kids who I don't own a car and am not able to go pick. I have two beautiful little babies that need their data. And I'm trying to get back to them and need to get myself in a better place financially to be the dad that they deserve and that I want to be. And because I'm not where I need to be financially, I don't own a car, and I honestly can't pick up my two little beautiful babies. And that weighs so heavily on me. And when I go into work as a waiter and the night is slow, and I'm sitting there and there's not many customers, and I'm going, shoot, am I doing the right thing? Which way should I go? Am I thankful for the job, or am I bummed out that I'm not busy and I'm not going to make much money tonight? And are my choices harming my babies because I'm not able to see them as often as I'd like? And that has weighed heavily on me. And last night, I was feeling horrible because I haven't seen my babies nearly enough. And they need their data. And I need them. And I send out resumes. I apply to jobs. I have a job that I'm grateful for. Although sometimes I take it for granted, and sometimes the pay's not as much as I need it to be. But I think God puts us on a path for a reason. And I think the only solution that I see to getting back to being the dad I want to be is keep going live every morning and talking for half an hour or an hour and a half about life and sharing little stories and sharing my opinions and making some people happy and pissing some people off. Because the one thing that I see growing in terms of a career opportunity is me doing my Coffee with Ken. Is me doing Coffee with Ken, because my subscribers grow every day and my revenue grows every day. And I appreciate the gifts, Highland and Connor. I really do. Thank you for that. Somebody said that's a big gamble on my kids. Maybe it's not a gamble at all. Maybe it's not a gamble at all. I mean, I'm not sure what choice I have. I'm busting my butt. I was working till 10:30 last night. At 5 in the morning, I'm doing my coffee shop. I'm working hard. I'm doing what I need to do. And sometimes we don't get where we want to be quick enough. And when we don't, it's tough. No, somebody asked if it was a busy night on election night. And I'll bring it back to the rain. No, we had a big rainstorm and it was election night. So it was pretty slow. I mean, it was okay. It was a Tuesday night, a rainy Tuesday election night. And actually, I was fortunate. I had some great customers and there were generous tippers and nice people. So I was fortunate. But still, I need more than just a little bit of fortune to shine on me. I need a whole bunch. And I need a car. Because I want to be able to go pick up my little ones. And love on my little ones and take them and show them off and tickle them and what have you. And after I get a car, I'm going to need a 2-bedroom house with cribs in it and toys and place for my kids. And sometimes getting there feels pretty far away. And sometimes you start wondering if you ever will. And yeah. Now, I wasn't only wondering if I ever will. I was starting to doubt it. And I'll tell you what, when you live a life filled with doubt, it's a yucky way to feel. I was feeling yucky. And I woke up this morning at 4:45 and said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Don't know what I'm going to do. And I got up. I put on my pants, my jeans. I got my coffee started. I did some stretching. I looked in the mirror. I felt I'm a little soft around the midriff. But I did some stretching just the same. And poured my coffee. And pushed go live on the button. And have had 100+ people watching the whole show. And I hope somebody out there that's just tuning in, that cares about stuff, about life, maybe draws inspiration about stuff and about life, that hasn't tuned in, subscribes to my page and follows my show and likes my videos and helps me grow my social media platform, because I think this is what I'm meant to do. And you do what you got to do, and what I got to do is waiting tables. But when you're doing that, you're relying on the economy or customers or business advertising to bring you your business. And for me, that's frustrating because I feel like I'm waiting and not actively doing anything. And last night, there was a couple-hour period when I first got there that was really slow. And I was looking around going, crap, is this the best use of my time? I need to get back to my kids. What am I doing? What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? And again, I got a few nice tables later on and was fortunate. and did fairly okay. For a Tuesday, I did fine. But you certainly doubt, and you certainly wonder if it's enough. And sometimes you're not so sure. Somebody's asking if I've ever thought about UPS, and somebody else just said I should make my bed. I've done numerous videos about both. So I've actually worked for UPS. Shaggy Frog, thank you for following the live creator. I so appreciate that. Did I not make my bed? Well, I didn't do a very good job of making my bed, did I? I must admit, I do a lot of videos about making my bed. I didn't do a great job. I mean, it's sort of made. I got a sheet and 2 blankets, and I usually kind of just do this a little bit. I'm not one to make things perfect. Because I think striving for perfection's a tough thing. But anyway, it's Wednesday morning. It's a new day. I see the sky is lightening a little bit outside my window. And I don't know what my day holds. I'm off of work, which feels good because my legs are really sore. And I am going to look forward to my day. I'm going to look forward to my day. And I do look forward to my day. And I do look forward to getting some more coffee. And I know I have 2 apples in the fridge that I'm looking forward to biting into. And drink the rest of my coffee. And see where the day takes me. But I appreciate you all for joining. And I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. And I want to thank those that followed my page and following along in my journey and chose to share a cup of coffee with me this morning. Because I appreciate you. And I hope whatever party won last night, I hope you can feel good about your day and about life and about our country. Win, lose, or draw last night. And I want to thank you for joining. And thank you for following on my journey. And as always, I hope you're feeling good. And I hope you are loving yourself. And I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.